Welcome back to Memory Lane. Craig Collins alongside Ben Bousman here for the 10th episode of Memory Lane, where we go back in time, take a look at some key games from over the years. We're on the third episode where we featured the Big Ten championship game. We're rewatching those because at the time when we started, the Big Ten wasn't back, but it is back. Ben.
Yeah.
Big Ten's coming back, and so we can kind of celebrate that while we watch these games.
Yeah, and I think some of the other, is the MAC?
Mac's on their way back. Pac-10.
SE's, everybody's starting to come back at different times of the year, so it's going to be a little strange, but...
Now, this game was between the number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes, who were 12-1. They were playing the Michigan State Spartans, also 12-1. So
number 10.
And this is interesting, too, because while there isn't a ton of NFL talent, there's Carlos Hyde, but that's about it.
Connor Cook?
Connor Cook was there for a little bit. Jeremy Langford, the running back for Michigan State, was pretty good. He was obviously replacing Le'Veon Bell for Michigan State. So some good players on these teams, but the first game, even though the college football playoff wasn't here yet, this was probably the closest to getting a kind of a preview of what that would look like when the stakes were at their highest. Winner goes on to the Rose Bowl.
And I think this is the year where it sort of created a little chaos because you had the number 10 that beat the number 2.
Right.
Now you get into
Spoiler alert, Ben.
Oh, my
this
bad.
game that was 7 years ago.
The boat sinks. My apologies.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and dive right in here then. We're going to start at the beginning of the fourth quarter with Ohio State up by 4.
Was Connor Cook, did he play for the Raiders?
I don't think so.
Gosh dang.
I was like, he was kind of a backup for a good chunk of time.
A 48-yard punt. So Connor Cook down by 4 to start the fourth.
And since you've already, blundered and spoiled the ending for everyone.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, it's kind of crazy, too, that first 3 Big Ten championships were not won by Ohio State. And, you fast forward to today, they've won, the last, several.
And what year was it that Urban Meyer left? Because, let's see, was it? Oh dang it! Who was it before Florida? Wait, he did Florida.
He went to Florida. He was at Utah
That's
first.
Right, Utah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That he was at Utah with Alex Smith.
Yeah.
As Benny Fowler comes up with the grab. Let's go downstairs to Pink.
I want to see who these two teams had lost to, because both teams were actually pretty good. Obviously, you can kind of see the difference in how the teams are ranked and how they're regarded by the pollsters.
Right.
Ohio State given a little bit more of the benefit of the doubt. I think, let's see.
And Michigan State their defense was pretty stout.
Oh, yeah. Well, Mark D'Antonio has always had a good defense at Michigan State.
Yep.
They've kind of fallen off recently as far as having a good team, but back in these times, because this is Michigan State's second appearance in 2 years as well. This is the first appearance for Ohio State. Wow.
Oh,
Wow, what a play.
where's Chris Berman?
Whoop! Yeah.
For a block downfield, but the play's going to stand. They'll just bring the ball back from this point of the foul, I believe. It's a 56-yard gain. Yeah, those are back-to-back big league throws by Connor Cook.
Oh, so actually Ohio State was 12-0, so that's why they were number 2
Oh,
going into this game.
Right.
I think it's against Tony Lippett downfield. Look at Connor Cook orchestrating. Gets the receiver, McGarrett King.
And Michigan State's only loss came back on September 21st to Notre Dame.
Nice.
So,
Was Notre Dame ranked?
let me look. Notre Dame that season was well, so 9-4. They were 0-4. They had 9 wins vacated. So they ended up they were a ranked team though. So they had a good year.
Got a little wobbly there for a while, as you noted a series ago. Looks like he's a little bit more firm again. A lot more confident throwing the football. Back to what we saw opening the game. He came off the bench to lead
And I think Connor Cook was still the quarterback too when Michigan State went into Ohio State a year or two later and won. So Connor Cook, I think, had a good career record against the Buckeyes.
Offside. Defense number 37. The penalty is declined. The play results in a first down.
Joshua Perry called for offside.
Oh, yep. Yeah, a little bit.
Quick step.
Yeah.
I think Michigan State has a little bit of an advantage in terms of vitality on this drive against Ohio State. They look a little bit slower through the Buckeyes, getting into stances and ready to go. Let's see if they take a shot here. First down and 10. Cook hit as he throws.
Ooh, almost.
Fowler at his fingertips on the football. Connor Cook doing a nice job of standing in under all the heat because that pocket just broke down on him. You have it diagnosed. They wanted to take that shot, but the pressure from
It's been
Ohio
like
State.
2015 maybe.
Coverage by Durant
What?
Durant. Here's the pressure right in his face. Washington putting it on top.
Yeah, they beat number 3 Ohio State on November 21st, 2015. And I'm pretty sure Connor Cook was the quarterback. So I wonder if
On the Ohio State sideline.
I'm sticking to my Raiders. I'm pretty sure I see
yeah,
draft.
Connor Cook was the senior. So he was a sophomore when this game was played.
Not bad.
Connor Cook was drafted in the 2016 draft to the Oakland Raiders. So there you go. He also was with the Panthers, Bengals, Lions as a practice squad member, off-season acquisition, and then he was with the XFL Houston Roughnecks as well. I remember Lippett being a pretty good receiver for Michigan State.
Yeah, I mean, Langford I know, Cook I know. There's not a lot of players like, the previous game we watched.
Oh, yeah, where the
like
whole
20
entire
players.
backfield
Yeah.
for Wisconsin was a highly touted running back coming out in the draft.
First down and 10 at the 11 for Michigan State. Down by 4. Connor Cook has found a groove. Incomplete. Moving in the end zone.
That looked also like it could have been interference too.
Like laying on his back.
Yeah.
We call that the hammock.
Michigan State has cross-trained their receivers. I might consider, if I'm the play caller, Dave Warner, inserting one of the regular wide receivers into kind of a slot spot and working routes that way. A little bit better receiver working downfield might be the ticket for Michigan State, working inside against Ohio State's D. Watch Lippett at the bottom of your screen. He's lined up with Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
Cook runs the option. Pitches it.
Oh, good play.
I mean, it's
Oh,
not like
you lost it.
It's not like Ohio State has that horrible defense.
No, yeah, Ohio State typically has a great defense as well. No, Bosa's not on this
See, you were
defense.
thinking,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that Bosa?
Trying to cover it. Able to get it popped.
That might actually be Bosa.
After the hit by Ohio State.
It would make sense.
My turn.
Yeah, your turn to look it up.
When they played here in 2011, he was on my boards, Gus, as the third team left corner. Now, he's a terrific running back. Third down and 8 at the 9. Michigan State 0 for their last 6. Langford, the single setback. Here's Cook. Play fake. Cook. Retired. Wide open.
Oh, wow.
Touchdown, Spartans.
Not even close on that.
No. Wide open in the back of the end zone.
Dang it. Did he play? Oh,
It'd be 2013. It'd be Joey, not Nick.
oh dang it.
You're good. 'Cause-
Bosa brothers.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not Nick Bosa.
I was gonna say because I thought. Wikipedia. There we go. Thank you, Wikipedia. He was defensive rookie in 2016.
All right, so we're gonna actually skip ahead a little bit.
Better watch out. Urban Meyer might have another heart palpitation or whatever.
I think it's after this drive. I'm also gonna see if.
Well, he was first team All Big Ten in 14 and 15.
Yeah.
He was USA Today High School All USA in 2012. What about 2000? There we go, college career.
2013.
True freshman.
So that was Joey Bosa.
Started 10 of 14 games, 7.5 sacks.
There you go.
Bradley Roby has 3 block punts in his career. 2 of them this season. Billy Brown back deep at the 35.
And I mean, Braxton Miller had a pretty good career as the quarterback for Ohio State. So, oh wow.
Buckeyes get a hand on it. It may have been Shazier.
Oh,
Their captain.
yeah, he's
Pittsburgh?
Steelers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Didn't
not
he
playing
just
anymore.
retire?
Yeah, well, because he got like
Right.
he got like a neck injury, I think.
But the punt was still
I
blocked.
forgot about Ryan Shazier.
One last year in their game against Michigan State and 1 by 1. And you called it correctly. Ryan Shazier, number 2, right over the shield.
Yeah.
Gets enough push to knock number 97 from Michigan State, Mark Scarpinato, their defensive tackle, back and get a hand on the football.
See, that always scares me when you see those kickers, like somebody fall back
Yeah.
right into their legs.
Now Braxton Miller runs it.
Did he become a two-way player? Not two-way player, but like, did they use him sort of like in that whole wildcat thing in the NFL?
Who? Braxton Miller?
I don't know why I'm thinking he was like a wide receiver or.
I
quarterback.
think you're thinking of who's the quarterback that was the quarterback like before. It might have actually been Braxton Miller now. My turn to look
Yeah, your
over.
turn to tag.
Guys, we don't do a whole lot of research beforehand.
Yeah, we like to
just
do
kinda
it
on the fly.
Yeah.
Braxton Miller. Oh yeah. He was wide receiver for the Texans. I don't think he's ever been. I mean, he hasn't been used a whole lot. I mean, his last year was. He's been on the practice squad since 2018. He was on the Texans for 2 years. And yeah, I don't think he was ever really used a whole lot. I mean, yeah, 34 career receptions, 261 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. For some reason, I was thinking it was. I don't know who I was thinking of.
More recent, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit more recent than that. Because for some reason, like, I mean, yeah, the jury's still out on Dwayne Haskins. You know, and I know, and I can't think of the other guy, the guy that comes in and, wow. But like Ohio State quarterbacks haven't typically panned out. Terrell Pryor had some, you know, had some good, you know, seasons, both as quarterback and wide receiver.
See, he's another one. Must be an Ohio State thing.
Yeah. Troy Smith, I think, was the same way, where he was like a wide receiver.
Right. And then there's Barrett.
JT Barrett, I think that's who I was thinking of.
Cordell, isn't it like Cordell?
Yeah, Cardale Jones
Cardell, yeah.
was the one that leads them to the title. But yeah, I mean, he did some decent things in the XFL. But yeah, I was like, right now, I mean, Dwayne Haskins, we'll see how that turns out. But typically, they haven't panned out very well.
Man, the Note 3. You're on like the Note 50.
Yeah. So this is a big play here because they're going to go for it on 4th down in a game. You know, 7 minutes, so still plenty of time, but, you know, and a field goal. Well, they can't get a field goal here. So, yeah, basically a position where they can't really punt. Wow. So, talk about the defenses. Michigan State defense stands tall. Yeah, they couldn't really punt there. And what a great job with their backs against the wall, going out there and making a stop.
With
The outside linebacker forces the play, but bites off the block from Jeff Hireman, the tight end.
Yeah, I couldn't really kick a field goal. Too short to really try to punt it, although you could have tried to pin it back. But
I think it's a first down. There's Pat Narduzzi, who's come down out of the booth here in the fourth quarter for Michigan State. Had the right call on. They plugged the inside with guys in the gaps, and Danico's Allen makes a Superman play on the edge. So the Michigan State defense, the heart and soul of this team, standing up, strong and tall to give their offense a football. Langford breaks it outside. Langford with speed.
yeah, I know Jeremy Langford had a really good career following up Le'Veon Bell at Michigan State.
How about the way they controlled the edge? Talk about Michigan State's offensive line, tight ends. Controlled the edge at the point of attack and gave Langford the avenue to the corner.
So yeah, now all of a sudden the field's flipped, and Michigan State's got an opportunity to kind of put the game on ice for a little bit.
Will he get another chance? Is the question. First down at the 45.
Good thing it's not the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah. Come on, man. Did you hear that in the on-field?
Let's go to Los Angeles for a game.
Joel McHale.
Championship, as expected, was all Florida State. They beat Duke 40.
Oh, good old Jameis Winston.
For 330 yards, and one half of the BCS championship equation is all set. Gus, Charles, back to you.
You know, because the only way he was going to be replaced in Tampa Bay was by the GOAT.
Yeah.
good old 30 for 30 Jameis Winston. 30 touchdowns, 30 picks.
Yeah, that's gonna be an answer to a trivia question. You know, next Super Bowl party or something.
Yeah.
Tyvis Powell makes the tackle. Couldn't be a more critical third and four.
He just looks like a defensive guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connor Cook has to get flushed.
Like he looks like an offensive guy to me.
So, like, I'm sure if you put them side by side, obviously you'd be able to tell. But like Tom Izzo and him kind of look very similar. The coach for Michigan State basketball.
Yeah.
They look fairly similar.
Act the same.
Yeah.
Maybe they're brothers.
Maybe secretly.
Yeah.
Not that, I mean, we're not going to sit here and try to define a catch. Obviously, that was one. But it's kind of interesting that they mark his forward progress, like, right where he caught it. Like, where he first got the hands on the football.
Right.
But had he dropped it a couple steps after that, it probably would have been incomplete.
Yeah, I hate the whole... Everybody just goes right back to Calvin Johnson.
Yeah. Not a whole lot, but there is some resemblance between him and Izzo.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know how long we're going to review that, so we don't need to watch that necessarily.
Thank you, Mike.
So I think...
Yeah, I've always hated how forward progress, you know, like
Yeah.
sometimes it's instantaneous. Somebody a running back's running, as soon as he gets ready to get tackled, they blow the whistle.
Yeah.
Sometimes they let it go longer.
Well, something similar happened in the Colts game against the Vikings a couple weeks ago, where like literally, they said that like the Kirk Cousins, a little throwback to the first Michigan State appearance in the Big Ten championship game. They said Kirk Cousins, because Kirk Cousins got tackled in the end zone for a safety. The commentators were like, yeah, he should have got a chance to get out of the end zone. But I was like, well, yeah, but if someone would have tackled him, too late or whatever, you can't say, like, because if someone brings him down, you can't have the forward progress rules, like, only favor the quarterbacks. Like, oh, well, if the quarterback is going to have something bad happen to him, let him get out of the situation. But if something bad's going to happen to him, then it would have been a penalty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always so wishy-washy.
You should write a strongly worded letter.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
Okay, my turn. Let's see how many yards he had.
Well, that right there put him over 100. And that, in effect, basically puts the game away, because with 2:16, it's a 10-point game.
Right. How many timeouts?
Only 2.
Yeah.
So, and spoiler alert, this was the end of the game, 34-24.
Yeah.
Having the advantage of,
Crystal
you
Wall.
know, 7 years in the future, knowing what happened.
And the extra point is good. 2:16.
So that is how it ends, essentially, for Michigan State. I'll let you look up the stats here. But yeah, a good game by Michigan State. They knock off the number 2 team. They go on to play Stanford. I believe that's an Andrew Luck-led Stanford team in the Rose Bowl. They end up winning that game as well. So Michigan State 2013 team ends up being 13-1 and winning the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not finding it right now, but you mentioned they lost to Notre Dame earlier in the season, and it was 17-13, so it was a close game.
Right.
But yeah.
So I mean, and it's crazy to think about it because this was, I don't know how good Alabama was around this time, but you know, it's funny knowing now that like the college football playoff is coming. It's not obviously 2013 was like a year or two before,
right?
But it's interesting because could this Michigan State team that just knocked off Ohio State, they would have likely been in the college football playoff. What could they have done?
Right.
Like those Wisconsin teams that were stacked too. So, but this Michigan State team, they do, I think, go on to win another Big Ten title here in a couple of weeks, where we'll have that one as well. But yeah, Michigan State win the Rose Bowl 13-1, so not a bad season for Sparty.
No, definitely.
So we are actually going to take a break from the Big Ten championships. Right now, the playoffs for Major League Baseball, actually as we're recording this, are just getting underway. So we're actually going to switch gears and do some Cubs playoffs from 2016. So make sure you're staying tuned to that. Next episode will be the Cubs Game 4 clincher in the 2016 NLDS against the Giants. So very fun matchup there. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.
See ya.